welcome everybody. Welcome to AWCSF, our new bookstore in GoBrunch. Hello, and again, I'm still working on this. We actually crashed it earlier. Well, I did earlier because I was trying to learn, and I guess I need more lessons. I'm hoping that RJ, when we get a little bit more info and talk a little bit more about everything else, she can give us some more tips on, and that's why I'm excited about her book. But I wanted to also let everyone know about, we are now going to be going on our own. So we're in the process of getting in our 501(c) and to be able to empower other women and other people who would like to raise their awareness of everything they're doing, from branding to just letting people know what they're into, especially now in the age of AI and social media and automation. So you never know these days who you might meet. So let me go ahead and start. This is Tanya Schultz. I am the past president and now the educational and program director for the AWC South Florida. I'm here. Joined with me is our communication director, Emily Taffel Cohen, founder of Mugsy PR, and also Janice is our VP. Hi, Janice. How is it going?
Everything's going well, Tanya.
And then we have Terry, our president. And then we also have the CEO of GoBrunch today is Richard Loventhal. Rich, I had to practice saying your name so many times when I was...
No worries, yeah.
I love your name.
It was perfect. It was very actually sophisticated. Thank you very much for mentioning me.
And then we also have RJ Redden, who also is a GoBruncher. She's a brunchy, and that's what we call each other. And she published a new book. It's called Enter the Worldbuilding Dimension, Create Immersive Brandscape with GoBrunch and GPT. So we're excited to have her come share a little bit of thoughts. But today, I think the next 2 days will be the last day of National Reading Month, and we took this opportunity to raise more awareness about it. But I wanted to talk to Emily a little bit about, because I remember during COVID, when we all were together, Emily actually was writing this book and she published it. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and give the mic over to Emily, and then we're going to continue with our conversation. Again, we'll be done at 3:30. The mic is yours, Emily.
All right. So yes, Tanya, as you mentioned, I did write this book during COVID, had a little extra time on my hands. So it had been a dream of mine to write for a while, because I have far too many friends as an adult who have careers that they wish they did not. And a lot of that is the fact that they didn't know about careers that existed in the world and things that you could do, because as a child, you're taught such a limited amount of job options, and people always say the world is your oyster, right? I say the sky isn't even your limit. But the thing is that it really, it is limited what we teach children, or what we talk about as their job options. And everybody knows there's doctors and there's teachers and there's, astronauts and all these, but you don't always hear about really obscure jobs that do exist and that people hold and make full-time salaries on. So the book came to fruition. It is a rhyming ABC book for children that talks about alternative careers that they may never hear of otherwise, just to expand their minds on the possibilities of things that exist in this world. And then the lesson that exists behind the whole story as well is the fact that no matter what job you have, you should treat everybody with kindness, no matter what title anybody holds or anything like that, that we are all the same, and the job is just what you do for money and not who you are as a person. So there's a little bit of that in the story. And I've been reading it at schools each year for National Reading Week. So go into the elementary schools and read to the kids. And it's my absolute favorite thing to do all year, because they're just adorable. And when you ask a group of 5 and 6 year olds what they want to be when they grow up, I go around the room and I ask. And of course you hear a doctor, a lawyer, a teacher. You hear a lot of these same careers over and over. And once we go through the book and then I ask again, I hear kids who are saying things like art curator and, tattoo artist. We had one little girl who her mom had to go out and buy her packages of temporary tattoos, and she's been putting tattoos on people, and she wants to be a tattoo artist now. And I just think, it's neat to be able to expand the horizon of a new generation and have them see what else there could be out there. And yeah, that's what I've been doing with the book since publishing. Oh, I think you're muted. I can't.
I wanted to start out just kind of like have you talk a little bit about it and then I want to go ahead and give the mic to Richard because I'm kind of curious because Richard is an educator also, and to develop a platform like this. Because if you really think about it, all of us, we never thought. I'm sure RJ never thought that she's going to grow up and build chatbot and be able to work with other builders and create all these immersive events and stuff. So I want to go ahead and give the mic to Richard, the CEO of GoBrunch, so we can set the stage of what his vision was and how he did it. Because this platform is an incredible platform for author, artists, for any type of business. But so Richard, the mic is yours. I want to get you to go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit more about why you started this platform and how's it going so far.
Well, thank you, for the opportunity. I think there are many components that made me create GoBrunch, but I would say one of the main reasons why I think it was loneliness. I was stepping out of my previous business that I co-founded, which is a business school. And I was working from home and I was kind of feeling like, you know what? I cannot connect with anyone here. I cannot see people, right? And we start to miss, the human connection somehow. And I already had some ideas based on experiences that I had in previous metaverses. And I was just thinking, in better ways for people to experience what I did experience in a more professional level. And I think I created, I just used some different components from different platforms. For example, the first room that we had was a kind of a top view room. And I think I was inspired on a Poker Stars table that I used to play, something like that. In addition to that, I was just thinking about LinkedIn, right? Because on LinkedIn or even X, Twitter, there's no way for you to communicate with the person that you don't know. You have to send this kind of, annoying messages that nobody wants to receive. And it's really difficult for you to connect with the person, right? Because the first reaction that you always have is, okay, what this person wants with me. And it's very unnatural. It's not like you are pretty much connecting with the person. And I use the same, let's say, avatar that we used to have on social media, which is the circle. And I had this idea or this vision to, hey, if I create a more immersive environment, but very simple, where you don't have to walk, we don't have to wear virtual reality or hardware, something very simple where you can connect. I think this could be very interesting. What I found out across the time is that it's interesting because we ended up realizing that GoBrunch is very interesting, but especially for people who are creative, just like me, because I am a very creative person. I am always creating something. And but yeah, I think that answers in summary a little bit of what you asked for about the inspirations.
And every day it seems like you are adding new things to this platform. When you first launched, did you envision this platform would be utilized in all industry, or was it just mostly for education purpose?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because at the beginning we started using with my business school started using for their classes because we were using a platform in the past. We were not happy with the results. It wasn't engaging. We were just thinking, hey, how about use the same platform that I developed for your classes? And I think it took 1 year for them to start using after I launched it. But what happened is that in 2021, we started to see different use cases, and some of them people using for building communities. And this definitely opened a new horizon for us because we started to see people using for the exact same reason or the exact same purpose that I created the platform. And after a couple of years, I started to realize and discuss with my team, you know what, I think this is the future because our users are already saying that. Which means in the future, the internet, instead of us having to browse pages, which is kind of boring, how about if you create something that will be based on rooms and spaces? And should be very simple, the same way that you browse a page, but it's instead of, we just, assume that the internet is based on a newspaper layout. we assume that it's more interactive. And sometimes I just make like a parallel. Like I was just remembering these days in Encarta, right? Probably you remember Encarta. It was an encyclopedia released by Microsoft, right? And this it was way more interactive than Wikipedia that we have right now. And just thinking about why the encyclopedia, I cannot say this word for some reason. My dyslexia is attacking me, but yeah, for some reason we cannot have the same kind of experience. And I was just wondering this, and just trying to think in better ways for people to experience this in real time.
I think that's one of the reasons why I love this platform and the community. We cherish the moment when the community is so quaint and comfortable, and once we get to know each other, we hop in each other's rooms. So it's not like going down a news feed and scrolling and see what's happening. You can actually go into a person's room, and if they're showing what they're doing, because I plan to start creating little videos of my pictures that I created and put it in there. But because of RJ and hanging out with Peggy, I discovered some other ways to embed different things into the room. So you can actually make it really interactive. And then you add in RJ's chatbot is another story. So I think it's so much can be built through here. So I want to go ahead and ask Richard one more question. Richard, so where do you I know we talked about the roadmap for GoBrunch.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you see your this GoBrunch at the end of this year during the holidays? Because I just feel like the holidays, GoBrunch should be, it's like a walking mall. I mean, if you think about it, that's what I want to build by the holiday.
Absolutely, like with swimming pools, right? Because it's getting hot. Yeah, absolutely. Well, my vision in GoBrunch is that every person, every individual in the world should have a GoBrunch space. Just like you have a website, you need a GoBrunch space because it's a wonderful way for you to engage with people. And what we are trying to do is we are trying to, promote GoBrunch in different ways with content creators in special, because content creators in general, they have let's say a certain influence power, and they're always disseminating new technologies, right? And we are trying to partner with many content creators to help us. And hopefully in the middle of this summer, we're going to have a lot of, virtual parties in different swimming pools for us to, hang out with different people. And, I'll say the vision that we have is, GoBrunch should be used the same way that you use a website, or should be used the same way that you use a social media website. It's not exactly a video conferencing platform, but it's a place for you to gather your friends, to gather your communities, and live outstanding experiences.
Sorry, even though I'm recording this. Yeah, and that's why I feel that this is such a, even though you've been founded in 2017, I feel like this is such a great opportunity for a lot of different things to be built on GoBrunch and also experienced together. I mean, from every single person I met, from family reunion across the country, the globe, bringing people together on GoBrunch, to launching a brand, to creating, or even launching a book. So let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and get the mic to RJ Redden, because what I love about RJ is she has the same attitude, but I want to kind of share a little bit about her bio. RJ Redden is an unconventional traction strategist and founder of Engagement First Marketing. She helps coach build true engagement and connection with their audiences rather than just shouting into the void and ineffective marketing. In her book, Enter the Worldbuilding Dimension, Creative Immersive Brandscape with GoBrunch and GPT, RJ provides innovative strategies for creating immersive brand experiences and communities that customers want to be part of. She teaches how to leverage GoBrunch events and generative AI tools like GPT to craft compelling brandscapes that foster loyalty. RJ is also the host of the Epic Engagement Adventure podcast. So RJ, the mic is yours. I just wanted to read a little bit about your bio, because to give a little, and I also wanted to talk to you about, what did you want to do when you grow up?
My current job hadn't been invented. Let's just say the truth. Gosh, when I was very small and my mother asked me that question, I expressed to her that I wanted to be a magician, but I didn't know the word magician. So I said, I want to be a magic hat. Because that's what I did know, that they wore magic hats. And that's, the very first thing that I wanted to be. And then I think following that, I wanted to write books. And then at one point I wanted to be a rock star. And now I get to be all those things. I love Emily's book. I gotta grab that one because mind expansion, I think, is a place where we can be at now. We don't have to deal with having a community that is text based and algorithm based. We can now have community right here in GoBrunch that is only based on us, our choices, and who we want to hang out with or get new ideas from or network with. I think that not stopping, certainly at the place where folks tell us we can stop or we should stop, that's the benefit. That's absolutely the benefit of being an entrepreneur. And no, I never thought to myself when I was a kid, I'm gonna write conversations for people online that they can get involved in and learn something or do something. And I'm going to use artificial intelligence to help me generate some of those. And I also will I call GoBrunch a 2.5D platform. There's an image in the background, but there's always, like even this bookstore, there's a lot of depth in this image. You feel like if you click up, you'll be going upstairs. Mm-hmm. There's a sense of place to it that nothing else that I've run into has. I mean, I've been in different VR situations where it's like, oh, so I stand in a circle and look around and the view's funny and this is cool. No, it's not that cool. I'll wait on that, everybody. But it'll probably become a lot better in the future. But right now, the ability to slide up and talk to somebody, it's about clicking a circle. It's an ease of use, and it's a way for me. I'm in marketing. I do branding and stuff. You can find out more about me and my brand by going to any one of my GoBrunch rooms and sitting around and playing with some of the interactive things, and maybe I'll even come along. It is so much easier to digest than all of the marketing language in the whole wide world, because everybody's heard it. Everybody has been pitch slapped. Everybody has been, forced to read things in their email inbox that you find out just doesn't even really concern you. The world itself is tired of marketing, and so it's time for marketing to enter a new realm, and that's what I think that world building is.
I agree with you 1,000,000,000%. I do marketing and I'm tired of marketing. I can't stand it. I'm tired of doing it the old ways. And it's like, we spend all of our time trying to figure out the ways to make it more fun for us, so it's more fun for everybody else. Because I'm like, if I'm intrigued by it, then somebody else out there will be, because we've, yeah. And this platform's awesome for that. But I also want to see your rooms. I need links, RJ. I want all the links to all your marketing rooms so I can come and visit.
Oh, well, I want to visit her 27 rooms. Yeah. Because I thought I was being weird making all these different rooms.
No. Oh, no. I wake up in the middle of the night thinking about things to create. Wow, it's a little It gets a little deep sometimes, but absolutely. Well, you come to the Come Right In, which is the name of my tavern. You come any old time. I will drop some links for you. We'll have you over for, you know, whatever beverage. I mean, if it's a fantasy tavern, it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
and you know, I feel like I'm at the bar when I'm there. So I feel like I'm actually sitting at the bar and she's getting ready to give me a beer. And I want to get Janice to join me for a beer.
It's so funny because when people come sit down, I always play the bartender when I'm there, and people come and sit down, and I ask them what they're having, and I get a load of different answers back. But the really important thing is I'm writing it down, and so the next time they come, I know what their drink is. Yeah. And like little things like that make people feel seen, heard, and special. When's the last time you ran into marketing that made you feel seen, heard, and special? Right.
Emily, you should maybe do your vodka event in RJ's bar.
Oh, for sure. I represent Yacht Life Vodka, RJ. We got to have an event. Yes.
That sounds wonderful.
Yes. And tonight I'm meeting with a yacht rock DJ. And I feel like we should all get together and do some GoBrunch yacht rock events. Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
We have our own version of a pub crawl.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Remember those, Emily?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Our social media
tweet ups, all of our tweet ups back in the day. Yes, I do.
But you know, I've been, you know, I study the metaverse, what they predict. And as you know, as a Gen Xer, myself, I am feeling like, you know, the metaverse is fun and all. Like, you know, if you were like a gamer, you could understand. But I really enjoy GoBrunch in a sense that I can like look at something and like I attempted to build a hotspot. So I'm gonna have to consult with you, RJ, or maybe Peggy, to see if I did it right or not. But I, you know, I'm wanting to build grocery store, furniture store. Different stores that people can just come in and take a look at. I mean, you know, they can go to the website and say, and if this website say, hey, you know, go into our GoBrunch showroom and check it out. And then they can go and check it out. And like, Emily, I've had John Kemp jumping in for his project, you know, and he's all excited about it. And he actually made a mistake of checking it out while his wife was on a conference call. And now you can hear him go, oh my God. It's so funny. So, you know, and they're saying that the metaverse is what people are going to spend a lot of money in this whole virtual shopping attitude. But I really feel a platform like GoBrunch, like this is going to be a game changer because you're not so busy trying to figure out if you can walk and you're not walking to the door, you know, into the walls. You can just tap a circle, you pop in, you want to read something, you tap something else, you read it. You want a bot, and you know, like if, and actually RJ, she goes, oh yeah, here's my bot, install that in the bookstore. So I have it up here. I should have moved it down here, but I uploaded Emily's. It's right underneath the signs that says the Association for Women Communication. So I have hers, but I'm gonna finish working on it. But you know, it's the very top, right when you land in. So your bot is really good. I click it, yeah. So I think that with the more we can get more people in to utilize it and have their own offices, and then all the officers can connect together, and in this way we know what, you know, if somebody's having an event. So it's just like having a group page where you have your own. It's the rooms, an all different kind of rooms. So I think is, you know, and then both of your books are so incredible. It kind of go hand in hand of what we're going through right now, because if you tell kids nowadays, you know, what do you want to do? You want to grow up. And, you know, I have to share this really cute story. My little nephew, he's in kindergarten. Oh, no, he's in first grade now. But he was like, all the kids, the teacher goes, write what you're going to be when you grow up. And I was thinking, when my sister told me this story, I thought about Emily's book. And I'm like, I'm getting that book for them to read. So everybody in his class, they're like, I want to be a YouTube influencer. I want to be a social media. You know, there was... One person wanted to be a Pokemon, and then my nephew goes, because our big thing is being kind. He goes, I want to be a kind man and be married and have 2 kids by the time I'm 22 years old.
That is so cute. Too cute.
He already named his wife, as his wife, his 2 kids. and he's going to be a kind man. That's all he wants to be. It's not what he, he doesn't care. He doesn't know anything about Pokemon or YouTube influencer. So, stories like that, it makes you wonder about what kids see and how they surround themselves. And I find like these type of connection in these rooms are so important, especially if the grandparents aren't in the place or somewhere and the child wants to see their mom and dad, and they want to be in a room that's kind of like the grandmother's house, and they get to see their grandmother sit on the couch and talk to them. And then you have like, a 7 or 8 year old kids with his parents and sitting there talking to the grandparents. It's the kind of connection that, you never thought you would have. You'll be just happy with a phone call, but even FaceTime is not, I don't feel as connected. But to be able to see your grandparents sitting in their living room that you see when you go visit is pretty powerful.
There's a lady here in GoBrunch, Raven. She took some pictures of her dad's restaurant when she was growing up, and she made some rooms out of her dad's restaurant and put her mom and her dad in there, and gathers people there, and has virtual coffee and stuff like that. Like, people are really doing amazing things in GoBrunch. It's a pleasure to see. It really is. The imagination has gone wild.
Where are you finding a community here? Like, is there a chat area that I'm missing? Or like, where is everyone finding everybody to know about these people?
Yeah, that's a very good question. We still don't have like an official directory. This is something that we are actually thinking in doing probably, in the next semester, maybe. But right now, all the communities are a little bit more private. However, we do have an initiative that I started with Peggy and RJ, which is an expo. And the expo is happening every 3 months, but it's like the first, let's say, project that we started, where you can see multiple spaces and see, okay, what is happening inside the spaces. But it only lasts a few days. But our idea is to expand this concept and, make people, feel like, okay, what exactly is happening right now? What kind of parties are happening right now? What kind of meetings? Where can I learn this? And this is definitely what we want to do in the near future. It's just like, I think, a matter of time.
Very cool. Okay.
We do have the weekly waffle in the expo space. And Richard comes and he tells us the state of the GoBrunch. And Peggy and I talk a little bit, and there's always topics and stuff, and then people kind of break up and network after that. That's
you guys do that. What day is it that you do that?
Those are on Tuesdays. I'm gonna have to physically look at the calendar. Tuesdays at 11:30 Central.
Okay.
That if you know where to find the GoBrunch calendar, they're all on there as well. Or if you come into the bar, it's on my calendar as well. So, but it's all in the expo room where we had that great big awesome crazy conference, and so you are welcome to come any old time.
Yeah, I was really inspired with the expo. I think I was more inspired. I think I scared you guys. I was like, oh my God, I love this stuff. And then I couldn't leave the room. I still have to go because I have a list still because I'm still working on. By the time I publish this story that I'm writing about the first expo, the new expo will be ready to be. So what are the registration like right now? Are you guys getting a lot of exhibitors?
Yeah, we are. Actually, we were getting a lot of people before the expo ended. And then now that we've got the weekly waffle going on, we're constantly reminding people that it's coming up, because last time people were signing up for it and they didn't even really know what it was going to look like or be. Now we've kind of had that experience, and people got really excited about it. So yes, we've got quite a few registrants already, quite a few people wanting booths as well. so that they can come and show off what they've been doing with GoBrunch. To me, that's the most exciting part, is because I can imagine, everything that's possible for me to imagine. But when I go to somebody else's space, I see how they use the tools, and I think about collaborations, and I think about, because to me, it's better when we're together. Cooperate, don't compete, and so going around seeing everybody's stuff is it's a game changer in a lot of ways.
And it's nice to hear how everyone, I guess they call it the elevator pitch. We all have to tell what we do, who we are, what you do, when you do, and why you do, and how you do it. But, to see people in their room, their environment, describing what how they started and how they got here, it's, because I love interviewing people, and I think when I was interviewing on some of the exhibitors, I was in awe about their history and what that they did and everything else, and how they found this place, and Joe Ramsey, oh my gosh, I love him. We meet in his office, and he tells me stuff, and I was just like, wow, and he's like, yeah, that's the thing with GoBrunch. Once you're part of it, because I was like, yeah, when I'm not doing anything, I just sit around and make rooms. And he's like, yeah, me too. It's part of it's a requirement. You have to do that. And so yeah. I just love that. I love all that. So Emily, let's get back to talk about the book. So did you want to read a little bit excerpt from your book, and also because I installed a hotspot in here, but I'm gonna fix it a bit more. And also we want to see where we can get the book. And I know you have hardback and paperback also.
I do, and I have an ebook, so it's available in the ebook format and hardcover and paperback on Amazon. And then it's available. It's available on my website, so it's available on the don'tlimitmebook.com website. And it's also on barnesandnoble.com, target.com, walmart.com, all your major book retailers. It's on their site, and links to everything on the main website as well. So everywhere you can get it is there. But yeah, I'm happy to read a quick opening or excerpt from it if you'd like me to.
Yeah, we'd love for you to.
Sure. All right. Well, the book is Don't Limit Me on What I Can Be, a mind-expanding book of career ABCs. Gather round, take a seat. Here's a little heads up. Throughout all your life, this one question comes up. What do you want to be when you're grown? But the answer to this is often unknown. You'll hear about lawyers, doctors, and cops, the fire department, and working in shops, a dentist, a pilot, a teacher in school. Yes, all of these jobs are equally cool. Kids are so often given a limited selection. Perhaps we can take you in another direction. You have one chance in life to be all you can be, but without all the choices, it's so hard to see that you can have fun and still get money, which is something that adults might tell you is funny. But it's true, yes it is, if only you know all the options of jobs you can have as you grow. Like making cartoons as a TV animator or working in a museum as a fine art curator. Archaeologists work to find things from the past, while architects must make buildings that last. And that's our A page. I don't know if you can see it, but each page has illustrations done by the amazing Arlene Soto, who actually illustrates every job we talk about in the book. I don't know how long you want me to read it, but that's the opening to the book. And we go A to Z on every single job. And then the very end of the book is actually my favorite. So I'm going to skip to the very end, because the very last pages are, yes, from the zoning assistant to the Zamboni driver, from the top CEO to the undersea divers. Each job takes a skill, one that you'll need if you want to do well and you want to succeed. Take your own path and find your own way. Do what makes you happy, since you'll do it every day. Work hard, have a goal, be all you can be, but remember, it's just what you do for money. No matter your title, just always be you, and be kind to others in whatever job they do too. I wish you good luck in whatever job you seize. With love and good wishes, the Career ABCs.
That's my book.
That's amazing. I love that.
That's amazing.
Just beautiful.
Thanks. So yeah, I love it. I love reading it to the kids. I really do. That's my favorite.
We love hearing you read it to us.
Good job.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I can spend hours listening to that. That's really cool.
Thank you all. I appreciate
You have
it.
an audiobook too?
I'm working on that. I'm working, as you know, so I published the book and then my dad passed away. So everything with the marketing of the book and everything kind of got put on hold for a bit. So I've done some readings and things like that, but I'm now recording an audio version and making some videos and getting back into the swing of marketing it. So yes, there will be that coming very soon.
Good luck, Emily.
Thank you.
Especially now with AI, you can literally make your own games and
Yeah.
cartoon and
I know.
like-
There's a lullaby company, right? They came to us to talk about some PR and marketing and things like that. But they're creating lullabies. And every single one of their videos for their lullaby songs is all done by AI. And he's like, this is the easiest thing I've ever done in my whole life. He's like, I waited my whole life to put out these songs because I didn't know how to do the videos and I didn't know how to do all this stuff. And now all I have to do is make the songs that I know how to do. And everything else is just done for me. And I'm like, truly, that's the brilliance of AI and where it can be taking any of us is it can let you say, this is my dream and I'm going to make it happen. And then you can actually bring it to reality now. And to me, like with my kids, it's like you can create whatever job you want. Like there's no titles anymore that can't exist. You just create them. Just make up whatever job it is that you decide you want to have in this world. And like you can make that happen, which is crazy. And we've never had before. So I think the concept of like the career situation that we've all spoken about in the past and having this career that you had to go into a corporation or company and work for them and do, that just doesn't exist anymore. It's not a thing. It's not, it is, but it's not succeeding for many people in this world any longer.
I think because of technology, we kind of have a balance. Like, do we want to be happy or be miserable? And how do we want to travel in our lifetime? So I think that's such an important lesson for a lot of people. What you might want to do when you're 10, 20, 18, 30, it might be different compared to when you hit in your 50s and your 40s. So it's part of the growing and developing. And so thank you, Emily. I look forward to seeing everything. I kind of I love Emily because I can say, hey, Emily, let's talk about your book. Hey, Emily, let's do this. And you're like, okay.
Okay. I can pretty much talk about whatever. Give me a microphone and a platform. I'm here for it.
That's what I love about you. And so RJ, so let's come back and talk a little bit about your book. And if you can read a little excerpt. Will you be, I know this is an ebook. Will you, because now if somebody wants a book, they can tap the hotspot. And then because it popped up when I was developing it, and it says, "Are you ready?" I was like, "Well, yeah, I'm ready."
Yeah, I have in Peggy, the company that Peggy and I started, we have a bot, and his name is Mythos. So Mythos will deliver the PDF to you. Right now, I'm just beginning, so Kindle is good, but soon I will do other things. I think the most important thing in the whole book is the first line of it. You might not remember the framework, you might not remember anything else, but the first line of the book is, why settle for a sales pitch when you could hand somebody a ticket to a different universe? That's what this is about. That's what, brands are so much further than fonts and colors. People think, oh, that's your brand. Oh, here's your logo. That's your brand. No, I'm sorry. Your brand is not that. My friend Michael Roderick says that your brand is what people say about you in the room after you leave. That's your brand is a feeling. Your brand is something that, it's possible to communicate a lot through images, of course. But for me, I want my brand to be how people feel when they're inside my bots, when they're interacting in my tavern, when they're doing stuff. I want them to be free to try anything, experiment and do some crazy things, try something that they never thought of before, and choose their own path through my stuff. And so creating an environment that reflects that is what the book is really about. I talk a little bit about that 2.5D thing again, where it's just like, okay, people think a lot of GoBrunch are starting out, and I started out this way. I just built a little backdrop, and I was like, okay, what should we do now? You know what I mean? I didn't really think of it as you have a certain amount of real estate to communicate so much more about your brand than you ever have before. Most of the time people communicate about their brand through text. It's a one-way experience. Your people are reading something, and either they're nodding or they're falling asleep, or they've already gone on to Netflix, and you don't know what's going on. GoBrunch allows me to have a two-way experience with my people. I get to see what their reaction is. I get to see what reaction they had when they read this thing or did this video or whatever. I get to create those experiences. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? For me, a GoBrunch room or a space, it's worth about 1 million, because now it's a two-way experience. And so, in the book, I talk about the framework that I use when I'm building a world, when I'm, building chatbots, when I'm building stuff on GPT, when I'm building stuff in GoBrunch. I use the same framework for all of those things. And it's really simple to remember. It's helm. It's like a little captain's helm, and navigating through the market, the business waters, I guess, and really developing and curating those ideas that drive you, because you've probably known a lot of people that have started businesses on the internet and have failed through several. I know that I have. What I learned about that was, I'm truly the captain of my own destiny here. I don't need to listen to somebody else who, promises me $1 million if I'll just spend 18 grand on their very special program, in the next half an hour. We all know people who are pitching and pitching and pitching. Those people don't necessarily know the secrets of the internet. And those people don't know my people like I know them. So why not create a world with sights and smells and sounds? Well, not smells. You can't do that yet through GoBrunch. Take a note, Richard. We want smells. But I'm just kidding. Richard knows I love him. What can I create around that support that I want to give to my people? What can I create that makes them feel seen, heard, and cared about? I used to think of it just through the chatbots. I've been doing chatbots 7 years. But then GPT came along, and it was like, well, I can meld these things together. And then GoBrunch came along and gave me a place to put everything and to communicate. What's really important about my brand? What's really important about my brand is not any marketing language that I could possibly give you. What's really important about my brand is the personal touches that I give it, and the way I care about my clients, and the work that I've been able to produce when we're all together. And so, yeah, that's what the book is about. But really focus on that idea. If you are, as Emily was saying, and as I have said as well, if you're bored with traditional marketing, baby, you ain't the only one. If you're bored, it's because it's boring. If you're alienated, it's because you're alienated. Don't choose that way to go. Choose your own path. Be the captain of your own ship. You can do this. And if you want to pick up my book, then please go ahead and do so, because I know my people will resonate with those ideas, and I want to spread them as far and as wide as I possibly can.
Your book, but I just Googled while you were talking, and I can't. Where do I get it? Where is your book? Is it?
Well, I believe Tanya, did you put it up there,
Okay,
or
Yeah,
do
the
you want me
hot
to?
spot.
Okay.
So,
All right.
so above where you above your book.
Okay. Oh yeah, I see. I
Yeah,
see.
you see
Okay.
it? There's like yours is like I used yours was the first one I uploaded because I think I did yours wrong. Hers was the second one, like I did it, but if you touch it, it should take you to her
I
book.
see it.
Like buy it now. You touch it.
It took me to
and
the
scroll
spot.
it. You scroll
Yeah.
it and hit buy now, and then a bot will pop up.
Love it. Okay. I see. This is so cool. Okay.
Right?
Yes. I'm a geek for this stuff. I love this.
But like the South Florida chapter, we've always been ahead of everybody. I mean, always. By the time people come around to doing what we've done, we did it already. Been there, done that. We got like now we're on to the next thing, and I had to invite a lot of the other chapter to this. And I don't know what happened, but I'll find out some more because they're having a meeting soon. So I'm going to invite them to see if we can host it. Because I mean, why not? And also Emily and Janice and Terry and I, we were talking about doing FemFest. The ability to do FemFest for us is just something that like I've been sitting around making booths because I was just like, oh.
Yes.
Practice doing this.
We could do it here instead of having to do it in a live venue and have even more really kick-ass women-focused vendors and such that are not our typical. Yeah, RJ, just quick, like I went to a female festival a couple of years ago, and it was all makeup and weight loss and things like that. And I was like, oh, hell no. And came to Tanya and immediately was like, we need to do this, but we need to do this better because this was horrible. Yeah. Which again, I love me some makeup. I'll dye it, sure, why not? I do not want to go to a female fest that represents us as just that. So
Oh my gosh, no.
Much more uphill. Yes.
It's like the Bic pens that came out with the For Her pen, and it was pink.
Yeah.
Like the stuff like that drives me absolutely up a wall. Are you telling me that I should like this color? Watch me not like that color. Watch me. I'm just, I can't even write on lined paper, everybody. I rail against all the rules.
Janice, what are your thoughts?
It's a lot more exciting than I thought initially, as you know.
Yeah.
So the opportunities are just, it's incredible what it offers.
It's boundless, I feel. And also, like I was just telling Richard the other night, we were in one of my Twitter space friend, Keith, and he's Keith Keller, and he's from Australia. So it's weird because I was just looking on Twitter to look for whoever is using GoBrunch. I want to follow them. And then sure enough, one of my really good friends from Australia. And so we were talking, and so Richard's been helping him too. So he's opening up because he used to be a radio DJ. So now he's doing GoBrunch.com/radio. And I went into his room and just the excitement that we got about this was so incredible between the two of us. And I couldn't stop talking like I'm doing right now because I'm so excited about it. But I was thinking, like, I don't know, Janice, you remember April Clemley? April was celebrating her 80th birthday. She was one of our members. She was actually in charge of the college student chapter she was going to look into. But, I thought, like, somebody who's older and wanted to celebrate their 80th birthday, and they have all these pictures and all these moments in their lives that they could, like, bring people together and create that whole experience of going through, this was me when I was in my 50th, 30th, 20th. And to be able to walk into a room and then there's a picture of them when they were younger, but then you put a circle over them. It's so cute, like I and also I feel like for medical reason, for a lot of people too, just think if somebody was like that borderline of forgetfulness, they weren't sure, but they need to be trained on different things to remember. Could you imagine this type of like GoBrunch as a therapy platform where people can come in, have a conversation, being able to show things of what they experiences and bringing people in to talk to them. And because they say music, sound, rekindles people's memory, like the music they listen to, they went to a concert, they listened to this. So I feel like now with GoBrunch, you can literally bring someone inside the room without having it to be such an ordeal, like a metaverse, but also have them listen to music and hear videos and talk to people they grew up with. So I think that's just, the sky's the limit. That's how I see it. I know I'm tired of marketing. I don't even like market. I'm to be honest with you, I kind of like got tired of the whole. So I said, I don't do social media marketing. I do AI marketing. You want to talk about AI? I'm your girl. AI marketing, we're going to market with AI. And because of the industry we're in, my job is done. I can write a whole program. I can do stuff, what I'm going to tweet, how I'm going to do that. And people call me, can you write this up for me? I'm like, yeah, I'll write it up for you. my AI is going to write it up for you. But, it's the time where we can do anything and create anything we want. And the only thing that really holds us back is ourselves and the creativity that we can create. I mean, whatever I wanted to be as a child, I can build through this platform. And then just listening to you talk, RJ, and sharing and your book and everything. So, and what a game changer for you and everything, And I was hoping Peggy was here because Peggy would I like to hear her, because we're going to have her come on too, to share her thoughts and her experiences, because Peggy is the photographer, but she thinks of it more of like psychological, as far how people are looking at their profile picture, how you want to present yourself, and that in itself is such a unique thing that I never thought about, I'll just post a picture of myself. But Janice does human resources, and she is a headhunter, so she knows when people look at certain things. Janice, am I right about this? Don't people look at their profile picture? Don't they look at all the different things when someone's getting hired?
Absolutely. Especially you go right to social media. You go to social media, you look at what they're posting, but then you also look at their friends to see what their friends are posting. And if there's anything questionable, unfortunately, that person is taken out very quickly. So you have to be very careful what you have on your social pages. And they go pretty deep into the social because they want to make sure it's a good fit culturally. So absolutely.
Nice.
And quick question for Richard. So Richard,
Sure.
as an individual or a business owner, what does this look like? I know Tanya and RJ and maybe even Emily know a lot about it, but to come in as an individual is it like a package you buy, or how does that work? Because Tanya, now I do love it.
Yeah, well, we do have two different ways for people to get inside GoBrunch. Actually, three different ways. We do have a very generous free version where you can play with it.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say all the customizations will require you to upgrade. And in order to upgrade, we do have two options. One of them is like the traditional monthly subscription, but especially because we know that coaches and content creators in general, they are always struggling and they don't want to get, under a lot of subscriptions, and I include myself within it. We do have a lifetime deal that, people can buy, and they pay just once and they can use forever. And I think Tonya can provide more information later.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think it's such a game change. I made like rooms, I call it after party, because when back in the 90s, I used to throw raves, and after the rave, we'd go to someone's porch and people would set up music and we just sit there and watch the sun come up, and then we go to bed. And then, but then I was just like, let me see and let me do this real quick. It's during Ultrafest. Ultrafest was happening. It gave me like, let me go ahead and make these patios. So I ended up making all these different patio and live streaming Ultrafest, and my friends popped in and they were like, wow, this looks like what we used to hang out with. I'm like, yeah, because it's really the experiences. So again, it's not just for work, or it's just, besides it's a communication tool, but it's a kind of communication tool that you don't have to like describe something or look at a picture. They're actually coming in and experiencing it. And if they have questions, they can your room is based on what you want people to see and feel. So I think that's the most important part. So it's about 3:16. I got like about 15 minutes, and we want to go ahead and shut down the space. But so Emily, you want to share any final thoughts? Do you have anything coming up that you want to share with us? I mean, Emily does more than I do, actually. So I always have to laugh. I was like, Emily, what's up?
There's so much coming up. I don't even know where to start. All right, so I just have a brand new client who I'm super psyched about, because she's a female super yacht captain that also runs what she calls the captain's classes, and she talks about mental health in the yachting industry. And that is a very little known and very underspoken about situation, because mental health in yachting is horrendous, and there's drug abuse, sexual abuse. There's so much that goes on that is not talked about. So she's bringing a lot of light to that. She's got some seminars that are going to be coming up that are free to tune into online and such through her platform. So I'm excited to be working on that. Speak Up for Kids, which you know I'm super passionate about. They work with foster children in Palm Beach County. They serve the direct needs of foster children. So I have gotten to see these kids have their first birthday party, get their first bicycle, be able to be a part of school extracurricular activities, because that's a big one for normalcy in their lives. And Speak Up for Kids helps to fund that. They have a bunch of events coming up. There's some virtual events, so anybody can attend and donate and help out these kids. But there's also their annual gala, which is coming. So that's April 6th, and it is a 70s theme. And we're doing this very groovy, like amazing gala that's coming up. So that's very cool. Gosh, and personally, I have 2 books in the works. I'm also shilling vodka right these days. So I'm at Total Wine in Naples. If anybody's going to be in Naples who's listening in, I'm at Total Wine in Naples on Friday selling vodka.
You know, I even offered this idea for her. I said, can you go there early and take a picture of it and send it to me so that I can have like a duplicate and go brunch, and then we can just go on social media and see what happens. It's kind of like, remember the old tweet up that we used to do, just randomly just do a tweet up and say, we're going to be here, pop in here. And
I want to do that. We're coming back to Boca with the vodka in May. So I'm going to do that because I can get over to the Boca one easy and take some pictures, and for sure. Yeah, actually, it was crazy. I put it on Facebook the last time I was going to be at Boca, and people came out of the woodworks from old social media people who were like, you're never somewhere where we don't have to have a ticket to go, but we didn't have to have a ticket to come see you. So they were like popping in to come see me. That was nice. And we're working on our next events for AWC. So always excited about that. And GoBrunch has now opened up a world of possibilities for me. So my brain has been working overtime since seeing the boat that you put up here, Tanya. I'm and Patrick would kill me for calling it a boat. The yacht you put up here. But it's an amazing platform here that I am so incredibly excited to explore for my clients. So on top of everything else I'm doing, I'm going to be living in this GoBrunch virtual world now because I have to do more in here. So adding that to the mix also for sure.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I have to like, I forgot about the I forgot about it. I saw Richard. I was like, oh my God, I forgot to do mine.
I love it.
So I want to kind of go around the room. So Janet, do you have any upcoming thing that you're doing? Do you want to share with us real quick? I didn't even give you the mic at all in our chat.
Oh no, that's fine. I just wanted to say I used to own a dating service as well as temporary agencies and executive search firm, and I have just resurrected my dating service, and it's called Florida Matchmaker. And I have arranged 6 marriages, and I'm quite good at it because it really does fall in line with the same thing as a headhunter. It's just, instead of business with people, it's people with people. So if anybody is looking for a matchmaker, keep me in mind.
I love
That's my newest endeavor.
I love it.
And I might have a client for you. My best friend is looking for a matchmaker to connect with, and she's desperate need of finding a nice person. She deserves it. I'm going to connect you guys.
Wonderful. Yes, 6 marriages I've arranged.
She's if it's who I think it is, she's a wonderful.
It is, and she needs deserves it and needs an amazing person. Yes.
Such a
These times
person.
are just different. You know, it's so funny. Years ago, it was just people over 40 or 50 that couldn't find dates. And now, I talk to young kids, 18, 20 years old, and they're having a hard time finding people as well because they're just not going out as much as they used to, and they're not participating in sports and going to the places that we went to when we were younger. So it's pretty much all age groups that are looking for looking to meet someone. So keep me in mind, Emily.
I certainly will. And I think the world of dating is broken. These apps are horrible, and people need to meet more people in real life. So
yes,
I will send her your way.
Thank you.
I love it. And Richard, do you want to give us some little tidbit that you're working on? I mean, I'm loving the circle. I love everything actually.
Yeah. Well, I think the best results that we can always get is listening to our users' reaction. And I love to see what you are creating, what RJ are creating, and looking forward to see Emily and Janice because they seem very excited. By the time that Janice is speaking about a matchmaker, I can always imagine, right? If people are struggling to meet in person, maybe we can create like a room here, a space with multiple rooms inside, and then
Yes.
maybe we can meet each other, right, Janice? We can definitely have a conversation later for discussing some possibilities. But definitely, I think it's super exciting to see, how people are getting creative here, and I'm really glad because at the same time that I keep imagining how Janice feel knowing that she's impacting people's life because and it's super deep, right? Because these couples, they probably will have kids, and they wouldn't have kids if it wasn't for Janice. And I think this right, it's
Oh,
crazy.
that's so sweet.
You're saving the planet
And
for us.
yes, I think we have to keep in mind this kind of impact that we do in this world, and do as much as we can.
I love
I
it.
agree.
Oh, thank you.
I know. I was thinking the same thing too, Richard. Great mind thinking. I'm like going, I wonder if she'll let me build like these little rooms for her because, during the pandemic, did you remember Netflix? They had these movies that they were doing. They film on Zoom. I'm like thinking, why can't we do something like that and go brunch?
Yeah, you should. I attended so many of those. Like during COVID, I went to a murder mystery and like with a tea group that was on Facebook, I went to a murder mystery party online. I watched movies on Netflix with my friends doing that watch now thing where you could all watch together. I think integrating any of that stuff in here I would do movie nights like crazy, themed movie nights with my friends in a themed room in Go Brunch where we can all watch movies together. I'd be so in.
No, yeah. I think it's all users, but I'm talking about like somebody went in and made a movie, like a story based on, because there's a couple movies that we were watching, we were streaming, we were binge watching during COVID time, and it was all about these people. It was about people, they filmed it all on Zoom, them just like recording themselves talking about what's happening in their life, who they met, and then they had like a support group. They all got together on Zoom, but the whole thing, it was all recorded. They took Zoom segments and they put it together and made a movie out of it.
That's crazy.
And they streamed it.
There was a murder mystery movie like that. It was like a horror movie, and it was all done through Zoom of these kids who were on a Zoom call, and people kept dying, and they were watching it through Zoom. And yeah, it's crazy, but there's a lot that can be done here, so we're going to explore more of that.
We're going to definitely. So RJ, you want to share some other tidbits you're working on? I'm sure you're like getting crazy busy with your chat bot, because I mean, like when she told me, she's like, well, no, I don't have a link, but I have a chat bot. I was like, oh, well, excuse me, I'll take that too.
Yeah, well, it sounds like what I have in my schedule as of this afternoon is figure out how we can remake The Princess Bride and Go Brunch. Please don't sue us. Holy moly, I saw that one during the pandemic. It was like, this is genius. But now we have a platform that will totally allow that. It's really about pushing the boundaries. It's really about thinking about what else can be done and building experiments. I made many friends at the expo, but I made a friend of a guy named Claudio. He's from Italy, and he's pretty darn amazing. And we were chatting, and he said, instead of thinking about how many years old you are, what if you thought about how many experiments old you are? Because he loves to experiment. He loves to, put up a test room and just do a couple of things to it and see if it explodes. And so really it's about experimenting, thinking about, ways that other people can use this, and inviting them. And that is, of course there will be, I should probably do some marketing around the book. It's necessary. that's some stuff I can do. Peggy and I are also, we're setting up all the legal and admin stuff behind a business. Gosh, that takes precious time, doesn't it? I am no good. I'm no good at any of that. And so yeah, we've been doing a lot around that. But really starting, let's start a movement. Let's not even stop at a business. Let's start a movement. You know, I was thinking, Emily, about, about your book, and I was thinking about all the kids in the class that want to be YouTube influencers. Well, why is that? You know, because if you think about it, all those YouTube influencers or whatever, they're allowed to be themselves as an adult.
Yep.
Everything else you see as an adult is people wearing a uniform or a suit. And a lot of kids don't see anybody that looks anything like them because of the whitewashing of everything, certainly. And and those YouTube influencers or those Instagram people, they are the pinnacle of, I get to be myself. Yeah. And I make money this way. And so I think that's a reason a lot of people, young kids, are drawn to that. Well, you've just found a huge channel where you can be yourself and express yourself all day long, and your friends can join you. And you can make businesses, and you can make collaborations that will just blow the mind of anybody who isn't involved in this thing. Let's not stop at a business. Let's create a movement right here, right now, and advance. Use this to advance the way that we talk to each other and what we talk to each other about and what we read and what we think. So I'm fired up at this moment. Later, my wife will be like, "What were you talking about in there?" But yeah, I mean, let's together. Let's do this. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, like most of the people on GoBrunch do, let's go together. That's on my schedule.
Well, I've literally experienced RJ sitting there talking to her, and we were on it for hours. And then her wife, she was like telling her to eat or something. She's trying to eat, and then she's trying to talk to me. Am I right? And then your wife was like saying something to you. You're like, I'm eating.
Because
apparently she doesn't eat.
Food through the door.
So it's 3:30 actually. So for myself, I plan to build a lot. I want to have medical conferences in here, bring my doctors in here, regenerative medicine, and there's a lot of incredible new protocol data that a lot of doctors want to learn more about. But I feel like GoBrunch is a great place because I'm part of everyone's conversation, and I love all my doctors, but when I'm part of the email, you guys know, remember how when we send each other email, we're like, oh my God, there's a lot of email going on. It's a lot. And I feel like, why don't you guys just go into GoBrunch and just tell me what, let's talk. Just jump in here. Here's your room. How many people is joining? And it's a whole group of them. And so that's what I'm trying to do. I want to be able to like change the way people perceive. And like Richard say, we're not building flat screen, we're building rooms, and that's what we're building. And then I really love that, to sit there all day scrolling. It's just, I would rather have these type of conversation, create stories, develop ideas, and collaborate, and and make it fun. And why not? We lead by example. So, and I'm so thrilled that that we're able to bring this, because I feel like by the time in the next few months, when we merge in our hybrid event with this, which is one of the things we plan to do every quarterly, we are having hybrid events where it's happening in person and in GoBrunch at the same time. So it gives other people an opportunity to see and experience what we're doing. Because I always say, you can't drink the Kool-Aid until you experience it with me, because just like social media. I remember introducing people to Facebook in 2007. Emily, I don't know if you remember just introducing your family to Facebook.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, don't build an account yet. Just don't drink the Kool-Aid. We'll have Kool-Aid together.
Absolutely, and let's gather more times. I have to leave, guys, but it was a really pleasure. Yeah, meeting you all, Janice, Emily. Really nice meeting you. RJ, good to see you here supporting us, and really appreciate. As always, Antonia, thank you very much for your invitation, and talk to you later.
Take care,
nice
Richard.
meeting
I appreciate you.
Richard, nice to meet you too. Thank you.
Bye, Richard.
Cheers.
So on that note, we'll go ahead and shut down. So Emily, I was going to ask Rich how to get a hold of him, but we'll share that in the promo. Emily, how do we get a hold of you?
So I am on every platform and everything as Emily on the Ave. So EMILY on the AVE, Emily on the Ave. And you can find me on everything, or Mugsy PR. But yeah, I'm pretty accessible. I'm on every platform. So find me.
Nice.
And RJ, can you tell our listeners and viewers how to get a hold of you?
Absolutely. Well, I'm on most places as Black Belt Bots. But also, the more cool and important place to find me is the Come Right In. The ComeRightIn.com. And it's right with the W, because right with the W means you make things. Come make things with me. Come hang out in my bar. If nobody's around, there's plenty for you to play with. And get a hold of me, because we've got worlds to build together.
Love it. We'll be in touch, RJ. I can't wait to chat with you.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Sounds good.
And Janice and Tanya, where does everyone get a hold of you? Wait, Tanya, you're on mute. We can't hear you.
For me,
how to get a hold of you.
Probably my email, first name, last name @gmail.
Perfect. Thank you. And if anyone want to get a hold of me, you can either go to GoBrunch.com/noaging, KNOWAGING. That's my office. And then from there, you can see all the different rooms that I built, all the different co-working. You can just click a button. If I'm not in there, you'll find me. Or you can just email at info@noagingpr.com. And again, everybody, thank you so much. And if you want more information, you can either go to AWCSouthFlorida.org. We'll have the live stream up later on today, and we'll have a blog written about today's event. And our next event is the last Wednesday of the month of April, which is the 24th at 2 p.m. And if you know of any author that wants to feature their book, please get a hold of us. Our email is info@AWCSouthFlorida, SOUTHFLORIDA.org, and we'll get right back to you. Or just go to our website, AWCSouthFlorida.org. And again, thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Thanks.